Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why my tombstone is blank. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. And tell me where is the road to less pain. How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by. Where are all my trophies in life? And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Set to sail to a place I can't say. Live a life worthy of chase. The time is today. New blood in my veins. I won't be the joker in life, playing the part I don't like. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Yeah. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. 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 Young and hungry for life.
Oh, my goodness. Friday Night SmackDown from a very boring Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm truly wondering what they're doing on Friday night, man. Friday night's become PBS Variety Hour. It's like a randomizer. I don't know what Friday Night SmackDown is trying to be, man. Are they trying to be a little bit of Raw? A little bit of Raw mixed with NXT? It's like all three brands just mixed together. Because they don't know what they want to be. They don't know how to operate. The result tonight was not a bad SmackDown. But certainly more of the same, man. Nothing really exciting. Cody Rhodes teams with Randy Orton against The Vision. Sami Zayn still the MVP of this show now after 5 weeks. And Carmelo Hayes finally dumps The Miz. I'm gonna dump the Dark Horse off at the venue. We're walking into the beer garden, and when I get there on this Friday night, we're gonna laugh at the lowly AEW ratings, and then I'm gonna say, what the fuck are you guys drinking? Happy anniversary. I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post show for October 3rd, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Friday evening, wherever you may be. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. Come on. Raise it up. Raise it up, man. Raise it up. Everybody cheers. Everybody in the venue. Everybody in the venue, raise them up. Raise them up. We are celebrating 6 years of AEW on Wednesday with the lowest rating in the history of Dynamite. Man, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, man. Look at that. Ah, that tastes good, man. That tastes so good, man. It tastes fantastic. Fantastic, bro. Love it. Love it. What was the rating you're at? What? Wait a minute. Some people in the back of the van. 465,000 with a 0.08 in the 18 to 49. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's unbelievable how many excuses I'm hearing. How many people are still supporting an obviously dead company. It's crazy. Maybe if you admit your mistakes, things would get a lot better over there. But you know, I haven't been saying much of anything for the past 3 years, right? Anyway, now that I got that out of my system, SmackDown. How you guys doing? SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown, man. I don't know. I don't know what SmackDown's trying to be. Now, before I get into what I want to say here, it wasn't a bad show tonight. It was actually okay. But the reason why it's okay, I think a lot of people are just kind of, especially the elitists and these accounts online that do nothing but push a narrative and push one company and dislike the other company and vice versa. It's like you see some of these pages on social media, they're very pro one company and negative the other. It wasn't a bad show, but I think you guys got to start asking the question of what SmackDown is trying to be on Friday night. Now, tonight we had a Sami Zayn and Aleister Black. It was not Obafemi. We did not get Obafemi debuting on the WWE main roster. Not yet, anyway. They may be waiting for this opportunity to feel right for him to actually go and do that. Sami's right now one of the hottest superstars in all of wrestling. One of the hottest stars in all of WWE. But Sami defended the United States Championship against Aleister Black. Fantastic match. As good of a TV match as you could get. We'll talk about it a little bit later. That's something that I've actually been waiting for personally since Aleister Black made his way back to the WWE. We got that. That was great. We got Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton against The Vision. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. That was the main event. 2/4 of that main event were Monday Night Raw superstars. Then you obviously include Paul Heyman, who is a Raw manager, advocate, oracle, whatever you want to call him nowadays. And Rollins. We saw Seth Rollins tonight at the end of the show as well. So we got the strongest faction in all of WWE right now on Friday Night SmackDown in the main event. Now, granted, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are in the main event of Crown Jewel, but the Vision has been on SmackDown now the past 3 weeks. Monday Night Raw superstars. Javon Evans, NXT standout. He's a lot of people's favorite. Everybody loves Javon Evans on NXT Tuesday nights. He was once again on Friday Night SmackDown tonight for no reason. He was just there. He was just there in the back, standing next to Rey Fenix. And all of a sudden he finds himself in a tag team match against Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. Now, Javon Evans is an NXT star. I don't know what he's doing on Friday Night SmackDown for a second week in a row when last week he was on the show. And it was a little logical that he would show up on the show. They were in Orlando, Florida last week. He answered the open challenge from Sami Zayn. They had a banger TV match. But he found himself on the show for a second week in a row. In Cincinnati. Cincinnati is not Orlando. Don't know what he's doing on Friday night unless this is more of a test to see how he fares on Friday night before an inevitable call-up to the main roster, which I don't think he's ready for yet. Then we got Zarya, one of the standout ladies on NXT, and Sol Ruka, who is the WWE Speed Champion. I don't know why they're on the show. I don't. Now, if you are Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, It would make more sense for them to be on Tuesday night as they can go to whichever show they want. They are the champions. I don't know why Sol Ruca and Zarya, again, were on this week's show. And tonight they wrestled Chelsea Green and Alba Fire of the Secret Service. The point I'm trying to make is, folks, Sol Ruca and Zarya, NXT talents. Javon Evans, NXT talent. The Vision, Monday Night Raw talents. Stephanie Vicaire, Monday Night Raw talent, who was in a contract signing with Tiffany Stratton. The point I'm trying to make is Friday Night SmackDown doesn't know what it wants to be. Apparently, Friday Night SmackDown has turned into Variety Hour. Now, I understand WWE is going to break their own rules because they never took the draft and the brand split rules to be super serious. They break them whenever they want with no rhyme or reason, with no explanation. I understand it. It's not even worth arguing about. But in the case of Friday Night SmackDown, when the show has largely been one of the worst television shows of the entire year next to Dynamite, SmackDown has largely been awful all year. Their roster is very thin. They are very thin at the top of the card. CM Punk and Roman Reigns are operating on the other show. Randy Orton is seemingly taking months and months off for no reason. Cody Rhodes goes to film a movie. He's not there. People just missing from action like Jacob Fatu since SummerSlam. He's made one fucking appearance on Friday Night SmackDown. McIntyre's been on and off hurt. SmackDown doesn't know what it wants to be. But you're going to get people blinded. Oh, SmackDown was a good show. SmackDown was a great show to some people. But it's not SmackDown. It's not Friday Night SmackDown. It's not its own entity anymore. It's Variety Hour. It's a little bit of Raw, a little bit of SmackDown, it's a little bit of NXT. If that's what you want out of Friday Night SmackDown, so be it. I don't look at it that way. I'm not supposed to look at it that way. If I looked at it like a fucking geek, like everybody else, this was a great show, man. I love the WWE, JD from NY026. If I was a Reddit elitist, I'd want you guys to fucking put a bullet in my head and fucking end this channel permanently. Never gonna happen. You're gonna get those people who don't care. I can't sit here and do that. The one thing I'm thinking about is, why are people so understanding of this current direction? Why are more people looking at it as, this is WWE just trying to get a quick fix on Friday night so that the shows are a little bit better than they were? This is a short-term solution to a very long-term problem. What happens when WWE needs to go back to just using SmackDown talent? Or maybe they don't even go back to using SmackDown talent. Maybe this is the current direction of Friday Night SmackDown. But when you turn Friday Night SmackDown into a variety hour of all three shows, a mixture of all three shows, you're basically turning it into NXT. Because that's exactly what NXT is. They don't have enough superstar. They don't have enough star power. They don't have enough talent that people genuinely want to see on Tuesday nights. So it's a mix of Raw, it's a mix of Friday, and now they even got a mix of TNA on Tuesday night. All they got down there, their backbone is that women's division. You can't have a show of 2 hours of women's matches. It is a variety hour. It is a mix mash of shows. And SmackDown, and with the people in charge here, they're turning it into a variety hour that doesn't even look like Friday Night SmackDown anymore. Everything is just lopsided. Now, again, I understand WWE is going to do what they want, but Monday should be Monday. Monday should be unique. Monday, you don't see Monday borrowing from anybody else. Monday is Monday. Monday Night Raw is the only show right now that has a unique roster. A roster that it operates as its own roster on Monday. Tuesday, it's not that way. Wednesday certainly isn't that way. And then Friday now isn't that way. I enjoyed it a lot better when WWE was giving opportunities to everybody. Set roster on Monday, set roster on Tuesday, set roster on Friday. Now WWE seemingly doesn't even want to do their jobs to fix the real core long-term problems of Friday Night SmackDown. Now they just want to borrow from the other shows and put a fucking Band-Aid over a fucking machete wound. It's ridiculous. Now, you may be okay with that. I'm not. I have long-term vision. I have a desire to see a true fix to the show. Great top of the card, great middle of the show, and a great women's division with a great tag team division thrown in there. WWE's got all this talent, yet you can't figure out what you want your roster to look like on Friday night. You got to borrow from NXT and you got to borrow from Raw. Then it just becomes random matches with no real story. WWE still doesn't have a real centralized story that exists on Friday. They don't have that bloodline on Friday. You got the Vision on Monday, and now the Vision's on Friday. They don't have that long-term storyline that is centralized and solely on this one show where you got to tune in every week to Friday Night SmackDown to see how the story progresses, how it proceeds, and to see how the story plays out. Those days are gone. But you guys want me to sit here and be like, oh man, SmackDown was great. Random matches, no story. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was a bad show because the in-ring action tonight was actually very good. But if you expect me to sit here and just openly glaze the show because there was a couple of new stars and some NXT talent on this show, you got the wrong fucking guy, man. I'm not going to fake react to Javon Evans and Sol Ruka and Zarya. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you exactly how I'm feeling about this show, and this is a short-term solution to a very long-term problem. Now, with that said, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. What I said on Monday, clearly, is the direction that we're going in for Crown Jewel. At the end of the show, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed beat Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton took a devastating tsunami splash from Bronson Reed. Great. I feel like what I said on Monday is going to come to fruition at Crown Jewel next Saturday. At the end of the match, Seth Rollins joined his boys, and in the aisleway, he actually caused the distraction enough, or Paul Heyman caused the distraction. Then Seth Rollins gave a curb stomp to Randy Orton, which led to the tsunami by Bronson Reed, and then they all kind of conglomerated in the aisleway. Seth Rollins stopped. Paul Heyman was looking at Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was looking at Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman said, "Don't do it. Don't you think about doing it. He's in your head. Don't do it." Rollins contemplated, and he pushed Paul Heyman away. And he went in there again for another cheap shot on Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes is in his head. He tried to deliver a curb stomp to Cody Rhodes because he gave one to Randy Orton. And he got a crossroads for his trouble. And Cody Rhodes actually ended up laying out Seth Rollins at the end of Friday Night SmackDown before they went off the air. Cody Rhodes is in Seth Rollins' head, and Seth Rollins has listened to Cody Rhodes for the last 2 weeks saying, "You haven't beat me. Our first 3 matches have happened. We wrestled one-on-one. Is that going to be more of the same for this 4th match, or are you going to hide behind your goons?" he said. He keeps looking at the Rolex that Cody Rhodes gave him at the end of WrestleMania 40. Just last week, Seth Rollins questioned the watch. What does the watch stand for? And then he looked at Cody Rhodes and said, I helped you at WrestleMania because you were the lesser of two evils. I want to erase everything that we did at WrestleMania 40. I'm not your friend. We will never be friends. He wants what Cody has, and that is number one. Seth Rollins wants to be the quarterback. Instead, in this case, Cody's the quarterback, and Seth Rollins will, as long as Cody Rhodes is still around, and as long as Roman Reigns is there, Seth Rollins, honestly, even as champion, is a third-string quarterback. Rollins believes he's worth so much more. Rollins believes he should be above. It's the whole reason for the vision. The vision has taken Rollins, in his mind, to being the guy just like Roman Reigns was. Just like Seth Rollins feels like he belongs at the top next to Cody Rhodes. That's exactly why he got the vision together. He even has his own wise man that he calls the Oracle in Paul Heyman. Cody has gotten underneath Seth Rollins' skin so much that it's driving him crazy. Last week, he told Paul Heyman, I gotta beat him. You don't understand, Paul. I gotta beat him. He's gotta beat him to get his sanity back. But Seth Rollins is driving himself crazy, and Seth Rollins is going to drive himself crazy to a point where he's not going to beat Cody Rhodes, and he's going to make a mistake. This is the great thing about having an oracle. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes faced off last week, and Cody Rhodes mentioned Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. Are you in charge of what happens in the vision? Is Paul Heyman running things or you running things? And Cody asked Seth Rollins, well, if you're in charge of the vision and all decisions go through you, who was the one that allowed Paul Heyman to show up at WrestlePalooza and announce Brock Lesnar to the ring? Was that you? Or did Paul Heyman do that on his own? Seth Rollins admitted to everybody and Cody Rhodes, everything runs through me, he says. But it doesn't. Because he didn't give the okay. He didn't give the order to Paul Heyman to go announce Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza when he wrestled John Cena. That was a Paul Heyman call. Paul Heyman runs the shots. Paul Heyman especially runs his own shots. That got underneath Seth Rollins' skin. Paul Heyman is not going to allow Rollins to continue to deteriorate before we get to Crown Jewel. It will show everybody that Cody is correct. Paul Heyman is running the plays here. So when we get to Crown Jewel, we're either getting one of three things happening. Brock Lesnar's going to show up and attack Cody Rhodes and help Seth Rollins win. Drew McIntyre is going to show up and help Seth Rollins win. Or we're going to get a new member joining the Vision that's going to help Seth Rollins win. The point I'm trying to make is, no matter who shows up there, whether it's McIntyre, a new member completely, or Brock Lesnar, or maybe Paul Heyman himself, does it and gets the job done. He's going to have to help Seth Rollins beat Cody Rhodes because he doesn't believe Rollins can do it on his own, which is going to be the sub-story to the greater story. And that is the Vision taking over, but Rollins is not going to be the man to lead the Vision because he can't handle Cody Rhodes. He can't weather his emotions. So Paul Heyman's going to prove Cody Rhodes correct in making the plays. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at Crown Jewel, and I'm still sticking to my guns. I think Rollins does beat Cody Rhodes. He needs to. Cody won the Crown Jewel ring and Crown Jewel title last year when he beat Gunther. He's not going to be a double champion this year back-to-back. Rollins needs to win. Whatever happens at the end of Crown Jewel will directly have implications on War Games, because that's where we go next. I'm liking what they're doing here. I just don't know how much tension will be between Rollins and Heyman, and if this is going to spell the end for Seth Rollins in the Vision. So it's going to be interesting to see. That was the biggest takeaway on Friday Night SmackDown. I did enjoy that little 30 seconds at the end of the show. It's not enough for me to whet my appetite on a Friday night, but it was enough as a continuation from Monday. Because he told Paul Heyman, I got to beat him, Paul. I got to beat him. Shows up on Friday, helps his guys win, and then he fucking melts. He fails at the end. And he eats a crossroads. Sami Zayn wrestled Aleister Black. United States Open Challenge is still the best thing on Friday Night SmackDown. 5 straight weeks, and Sami Zayn and this Open Challenge are the MVPs of Friday Night SmackDown. Rey Fenix teamed with Javon Evans against Legado del Fantasma, if you even want to call them that. Where Santos Escobar is, I have no idea. Angel and Humberto. They were on the show tonight. Humberto and Angel. Great tag team. I wish they do more with them, but they are stuck where they are. Sol Ruca and Zarya were on the show. They're looking for a tag team title match. They may actually get that in Australia at Perth. Crown Jewel. Because Zarya is in a situation where she finds herself also hoping to wrestle in Australia where she was born. So we may actually get that, as WWE has 0 teams for Charlotte and Alexa to run through, which, again, Tony Khan's got an ample opportunity to do something better than WWE. Will he? I doubt it. I don't trust him at all with the Women's Tag Team Championships that he just created. We'll see what happens. But all in all, Friday Night SmackDown was an okay show. It wasn't bad by any stretch, but I am wondering what the true vision is, what the true game plan is for Friday Night SmackDown, instead of it just being a mixed bag, a mixed variety hour on Friday night. Thank you guys for joining me here on your Friday night. This is the SmackDown post show for October 3rd, 2025. I'm JD from New York, as you guys already know. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out all of the content that you missed in the previous week. Some great stuff there. I'm going to have some content coming this weekend. I'm going to will some content into existence, man. It has been dead as far as news. And I just hate putting content out there just for the sake of getting content out there. You see some of these people, man, they upload every single day, and it's like, do you really need to do that? Who wants to see lists? Who wants to see rankings of the greatest theme music in WWE history? Kitty content. Can't will content into existence if there's nothing there, bro. But I'll have something for you guys this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. We got some great clips going up on the second channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to the second channel, link is down below in the description. JD from NY Shorts. We uploaded a banger today that we talked about on Wednesday. Jesse and I talked about the return of Andrade to AEW. They automatically put him in the Don Callis family. Tony Khan has already fumbled Andrade. If you expect any more from Andrade being a C-plus player in the Don Callis family, where Kyle Fletcher is the top dog there, you may be as dumb as I think you are. So go check that stuff out. We got some great short-form content coming this weekend over there. Ranting about Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. We rant about Samoa Joe and Hangman Page, and we basically, in so many words, call Kenny Omega washed in 2025. Great content going up over there, man. Go check it out. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Hit that thumbs up. Being that Friday night is notoriously slow, let's try for a goal of 700 likes tonight. Can we do 700 likes? We already got 350. 700 likes is the goal. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We will hang out at the end of the show as always. It's the best way to support what I do here on Friday night. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com/BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. Make sure you guys go and get your Free sample courtesy of the podcast. All you have to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Cody Rhodes kicks off SmackDown. And he actually got fireworks tonight in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Heritage Bank Center. Monday Night Raw happened and Cody Rhodes did not get fireworks. It's unbelievable. I guess they didn't pay their pyro guy. Or maybe they were just too cheap and didn't want to order pyro for everybody on Monday. But he did get pyro here tonight. So Cody Rhodes comes down the aisle. He's got his crown jewel ring on. You know, it's October or crown jewel season when all of a sudden they dust that motherfucker off and get it ready for the pay-per-view. 3 weeks out of the entire year, Cody Rhodes is wearing his crown jewel ring. We got Cody in the middle of the ring. Before asking what they want to talk about, he was immediately answered by Paul Heyman. What do you guys want to talk about? And Paul Heyman immediately interrupts and says, I know what I want to talk about. He thanked Cody for the question. He was accompanied by the Bronze, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They stood on the apron. Orton quickly joined Cody in the ring as backup. Heyman looks over at Randy Orton and introduces himself. He does his shtick. Heyman said Orton never returns his texts, never returns his phone calls or emails. So he decided to corner Cody because he knew that Orton would appear. He's an oracle, you see. He knew this was going to happen the way that it happened. That, he says, wasn't a prediction. That's what he calls a spoiler. We got a loud RKO chant in Cincinnati. It's one of the only things that they were allowed for. Otherwise, they were largely awful in Cincinnati. Heyman says he'd give any amount of money to hear Orton and Cody's strategy because no matter what, they'd lose to Reed and Breaker tonight, which was also a spoiler. Heyman asked, what would happen if they defeated Cody Rhodes tonight? What if Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed defeated Cody Rhodes tonight? Would Orton look at Cody Rhodes and think he could be a better champion than him? But if they defeated Orton tonight, then how could Orton not look at Cody and say, where were you, champ? Either way, according to Heyman, this, and he points at Cody and Randy Orton, this can't last, meaning Cody's friendship with Randy Orton. Heyman said that wasn't a prediction from an oracle. This is a prophecy. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes said nothing. They literally said nothing. Randy Orton talked to Cody off camera and said, don't mind him, ignore him. He's trying to get under our skin. He's trying to ruffle our feathers. Do not engage with this goon, Paul Heyman. So Heyman's just trying to rile up Cody and Randy Orton, obviously drive a wedge between Cody and Randy. I think this is exactly where it's going to go. When Paul Heyman says this is not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Now that he's an oracle, it's a prophecy. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. The thing is, how is it going to happen? Could we see that how happen at Crown Jewel? Could Randy be there? Could Randy try and stop the Vision from beating Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel, only to then inadvertently cost Cody Rhodes the match with Seth Rollins? I don't know. Does Drew McIntyre get involved? I don't know. It's an interesting situation. Rollins is clearly going to have backup. His boys will be there. Heyman will be there. Will there be a new member? Is Lesnar going to be there? The numbers game clearly outweighs Cody and Randy. So if Randy's a true friend like he says he is, he's going to be there to help Cody Rhodes because he knows exactly what Paul Heyman's going to do and how Paul Heyman operates. I love how he's now an oracle and he's giving prophecies. That's not a prediction, it's a prophecy. could work. This was fine for what it was in the open, and it set up the tag team match, obviously, with that little tension, that tease of a tension between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Tiffany Stratton was shown arriving in the arena. She has a contract signing tonight with Stephanie Vicaire for the Crown Jewel Women's Championship next Saturday. Carmelo Hayes was walking by. He's in the back, and he was confronted by The Miz. The Miz wanted to know what happened last week when he watched Miz get pinned. You didn't do anything to stop it. We're a tag team partner. We're supposed to help each other. Then Carmelo Hayes said, well, maybe you should have kicked out. You can tell Melo does not want to be a part of this anymore with a sarcastic reply such as that. Miz wondered whether Hayes knew how a tag team is supposed to work. Hayes replied that Miz is always standing in his way, and from this point on, they are done. Miz was mad that Hayes would tell him that they were done. Hayes said, yeah, we're done. And that he should be grateful that they are still good because normally he'd shoot first. And he walked away. And The Miz was left angry, standing there alone. It's about fucking time that they split these two guys up. I would have liked to see them go a little bit further with it. I don't know if it was ever in the cards for them to win the tag team championships or at least get an opportunity at the tag team championships. That never happened. I would have much rather seen Matt against the Wyatts than anything. They went right back to the Profits. But I'm just glad that they're hopefully moving Carmelo Hayes on to being by himself and hopefully giving him a singles run. Now it looks like they may have to close the door here on this tag team and have Carmelo and Miz feud, and then hopefully move Carmelo on to something else after he takes care of The Miz. Which I don't know who's going to be interested in seeing Carmelo Hayes versus The Miz, but it looks like we're heading in that direction. Now, I don't know how this is going to work, because what happened next is we got a Sami Zayn United States Open Challenge. Out comes Carmelo Hayes. He answered the call for a second time. He wanted an opportunity. Hayes had a microphone, and he stood at the top of the ramp and told Sami Zayn that this time there was no one holding him back. He said he was the best he's ever been. So he wants another shot, and he wants to prove to everybody why he is him. Miz came up from behind and gave Carmelo a skull-crushing finale onto the floor right there on the stage. Referees and agents came out to grab The Miz and bring him to the back and check on Carmelo Hayes. All of a sudden, Aleister Black walked out, picked up the microphone. He comes out to no theme music, by the way, which I love. He looked over at Carmelo Hayes and said, it's quite unfortunate. I'd like to take you up on your challenge, Sami Zayn. So we got Aleister Black versus Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. Now, that's something I can get behind. Now, moments ago, I said, I don't know how this is going to work. By the looks of it, it certainly looks like Carmelo Hayes is going babyface. Now, Carmelo Hayes really got no reaction as a heel. He did not get the proper heel reaction when he was actually a heel. What is WWE going to do differently to ensure that Carmelo Hayes actually gets the babyface treatment? Now, The Miz is a very good heel. The Miz has worked wonders more times than I can count in his career. Whether it was on the microphone trying to get someone over or help someone get to the next level or something that he pulled out of his magic hat and produced a great performance in the ring. He's not one of my favorites, but I'm not going to deny that the guy has been a Hall of Famer through and through for the last 20 years. I don't know how this is going to work because Melo has not been given a treatment from the creative team to really ensure him that the fans are going to care. And I think it's going to be a very difficult task for The Miz to help Carmelo Hayes get to that next level. Can The Miz do it? Are you going to bend over backwards to see Carmelo Hayes and The Miz in a mid-card feud on Friday Night SmackDown? Do people care enough in The Miz against Carmelo Hayes to give it enough time to see it play out, to see it work the way that it's intended to work? I don't have any faith. I don't have any faith here. It's going to be very, very difficult. At Backlash? Why are you guys saying, who said at Backlash? Did somebody fuck up there? Did Michael Cole or Booker T say something about Backlash? If it was from the commentary team, I apologize, Chad. I tried to tune them out. Booker T is awful. I'm hoping Miz knows what he's doing here, bro. I don't know if this is going to take place on Friday. I don't know if this is going to take place at Crown Jewel, but all I know is as far as the match card for Crown Jewel, we should add a sixth match. Maybe this is the sixth match. Sami Zayn and Aleister Black. This was a great match. 16 minutes. They gave this 16 minutes, and rightfully so, because this has been the best thing on Friday Night SmackDown, is Sami Zayn's United States Open Challenge. So we get the bell ringing right at the top. Sami Zayn executed 2 deep arm drags and an arm bar. Black worked his way back to his feet, floored Sami Zayn with a big kick to the face. Black whipped Zayn into the corner and leveled him with another kick. He then continued to beat up on Sami Zayn until he made a mistake and Sami Zayn ducked. He then kicked him in the face. Couldn't capitalize, but Black comes back with a springboard moonsault, and we go to a commercial break. Sami Zayn's in the corner now. Hit the 10 punches in the corner. Bunch of stops or stomps in the corner. He then clothesline Black over the top rope and out to the floor. So Zayn hits his patented moonsault off the top. Aleister just stood there waiting for Sami Zayn to get into position for the moonsault. He barely got him, grazed him, or as the commentary team would say, he didn't get all of it, which means it was a botch. Referee counted to 6 before Sami Zayn jumped off the top rope, rolled through, caught Black in a Michinoku driver. We get the first near fall of the match, only a 2 count. So Black executed a perfect German suplex. He goes for cover there with a bridge, gets a 2 count. Black gazed over at the U.S. title that is sitting next to the commentary team on that little podium. Zayn tried to take advantage of this. He attempted a Blue Thunder Bomb. Zayn countered by sweeping his leg, or Black rather, countered by sweeping his leg and cradling him for another 2 count. So Black is trying for his next move. He slowly climbs to the top rope. Sami Zayn met him up there with a beautiful top rope vertical suplex, and the camera work here was great, man. They did this nice aerial shot that showed you the elevation of Sami taking Aleister Black up and over. Really great superplex spot there. We go into a second commercial break because we can't do anything on this fucking show without a commercial. Come back from the second break, Cincinnati, chanting, "This is awesome." Sami Zayn jumped off the top rope with a big aerial move. He got dropped with a knee right to the face by Black. He quickly went for a cover. He got a near fall on Sami Zayn. Black delivered repeated kicks in the corner and tried to do a big running kick. But when he turned around, Sami Zayn attempted a haluva kick and he missed. This was a great spot. Zayn came running in for the haluva kick, missed. Hit the top rope. Black quickly dodged, came off the top rope with a Meteora, and he got the closest near fall 3 counts of the match. Sami Zayn barely gets his shoulder up. Crowd is into it, and they are buying every one of these near falls. Black stood in the corner. He was telling Zayn to get up. All of a sudden, predictably, Damian Priest shows up. He appears at ringside, which distracted Black enough for Sami Zayn to deliver the haluva kick in the corner, and he finished him off with a Blue Thunder Bomb. How many weeks in a row now is that? Sami Zayn has won with the Blue Thunder Bomb. Pins Aleister Black 1, 2, 3, retains the United States Championship. I love the fact that I've been saying this for years. Helluva kick setup, Blue Thunder Bomb finish. I've been saying this. I may have been one of the only people saying this with a platform like this for years. I'm so happy to actually see it play out that way. Love it. Blue Thunder Bomb is fucking beautiful. No matter who does it. Sami Zayn, Takeshita, anybody. It's great. It's one of my favorite high-impact moves in all of pro wrestling. It's a great near fall. Glad he's finally using it as a finish. But it was predictable that Black was going to be distracted by Damian Priest. They got something going on there. I wish that would come to an end. It's not really interesting whatsoever, but they're hopefully concluding that next week. As it was announced, Black and Priest will wrestle in Australia, in Perth, in a last man standing match next Friday on SmackDown. As far as the United States Open Challenge, these matches are getting harder. These matches are getting more competitive. And the competition is getting stronger. I don't know how long Sami Zayn is going to be able to keep up this momentum and keep up this pace. The United States Open Challenge was made into a great thing by the one and only John Cena. Cena made it mean something. Cena used the United States Championship as a vessel. He used the Open Challenge as a platform to get younger, up-and-coming stars TV time and over in front of a national audience. Because John Cena wanted to pay back to everything that happened with him. He wanted to give back to the youngsters. He wanted to give back to the future of the company. One of my favorite John Cena eras was that United States Open Challenge. Now, I don't know how they're going to end Sami Zayn's. I don't. But right now, you got to keep the momentum going. Sami Zayn is much better of an in-ring performer than John Cena was and is. And Sami Zayn's having some of the best matches on Friday Night SmackDown all year. He's basically keeping this show afloat. Imagine this show without Sami Zayn in this Open Challenge. It becomes that much worse. So right now, all the boo birds and all the people who are damning Sami Zayn is boring and he's just not interesting anymore. It's not exciting. You got to give the guy fucking credit. Sami Zayn in the U.S. Open Challenge is keeping this show afloat. Big time. I don't want to know where this show would be without the United States Championship Open Challenge. It's giving the United States title some credibility where it didn't have any, even with the likes of Jacob Fatu and LA Knight holding the championship. Sami Zayn is making it work. I don't even think if LA Knight wanted to do something like this when he was the champion, I don't think it would have worked as good as Sami Zayn is doing it now. Sami's just a great performer. I don't know where and when this ends. I don't. All I can say is that the rumors of Obafemi coming to the main roster, I would absolutely explore that option. Now, according to sources, WWE is getting Obafemi prepped for the main roster. Dave Meltzer says that Obafemi still has unfinished business on NXT and he will remain on NXT for the foreseeable future. I don't know who from NXT is feeding Dave Meltzer information, but if Obafemi was going to continue on NXT, he would be a part of the NXT and TNA invasion angle. And he's not on Team NXT next week. You would think being the NXT World Champion for the first 10 months of the year, it would get him a spot on the NXT team. He's not on the NXT team. That could be used as a clear indication that maybe he's being prepped and ready for a main roster call-up. There's nothing more for Obafemi to do on NXT. He's been the world champion. He does not need to do anything else. He's wrestled everybody. He's been in the ring with Ethan Page. He's been in the ring with Javon Evans. He's been in the ring with Trick Williams. He's been in the ring with Javon Evans, Ricky Starks. You name it. He's been in the ring with all the top guys there. What else is there for him to do? There is nobody else on that roster that should be in the ring with Obafemi. So what we're going to do, if I have the pen, have Sami Zayn come out Cut a pre-match promo in the back before he goes out there and defends his championship one week. And starts to spin the narrative that these high-level matches, this competition that's on Friday Night SmackDown is really giving him a run for his money. He doesn't know how long he's got, but he wants to go down a fighting champion. He made it a mission to pay back to John Cena because the Open Challenge gave him a platform for the world to see him, and John Cena gave him that stage. Now he's giving everybody else that stage like John Cena gave him. But his body's breaking down. He wants a week off, but he doesn't feel like he can do it. He's got to keep it going. He's going to ride this wave. He's going to ride this bus until the wheels fall off. Start to tell the story that the United States Championship Open Challenge is becoming a little bit too stressful for Sami Zayn. Tell that story. Tell that story through commentary. Tell that story through Sami Zayn, who's one of the better storytellers in the company. Tell that narrative. Then when we get to Survivor Series weekend and we get an Open Challenge that Sami Zayn did not expect, then you unleash Obafemi. And he walks down the ring, and it's basically game over from there. And I don't mean Sami Zayn going 15, 20 minutes with Obafemi. I'm talking about Sami Zayn and all the injuries and the broken body that he has had after all these great competitive matches. I'm talking about Obafemi destroying Sami Zayn the same way that Braun Breaker beat Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship at last year's SummerSlam. 5 or 6 minutes, tops. Sami Zayn can even get some offense on Obafemi. Sami Zayn's a great come-from-behind babyface. He's got that underdog Bryan Danielson-like fighting him. Tell that story. Have him deliver a haluva kick. Have him deliver it. Have him deliver a Blue Thunder Bomb. Have Oba kick out. 1 count. 1 count. 1 count. All his moves, not good enough. Then it sent Sami Zayn into a little time off. He comes back down on himself. He gave back to the United States Open Challenge that John Cena gave to everybody before him. He paid the respect that the Open Challenge deserves. And he takes this doubt. He sits with it. He struggles for a little bit. Promises to win the Royal Rumble. I don't know if Sami Zayn is going to be a factor in the Royal Rumble. I don't know if Sami Zayn is an odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble. They may end up giving Sami Zayn the Royal Rumble. We don't know. We don't know. But it could end up being a situation where we do get Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia winning the Royal Rumble or the Chamber. But in Saudi, Sami is as over as anybody. It would be a great moment there. Predictable, but a great moment. Maybe he ends up going to wrestle Seth Rollins at WrestleMania while CM Punk wins the Chamber and gets Cody Rhodes in the WWE Championship. It's going to be an interesting next several months. But the United States Open Challenge, man, has been fucking great. Every match has been a banger. John Cena, banger. Rey Fenix, banger. Mello, good. Javon Evans, banger. Aleister Black, banger. The match with Mello was probably the worst one out of them all. And Mello's great. But they've all been great matches. And Sami Zayn's knocked it out of the park. Easily the best thing on Friday Night SmackDown. Moving on. Nick Aldis, he was shown talking to NXT's Sol Ruca and Zarya. Chelsea Green and Alba Fire interrupted to offer them an opportunity to be the Secret Service's Slagents. Get it? They're Slagents, like agents? Sure. Sol and Zarya declined, saying that they were more interested in becoming WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Zarya and Sol Ruca challenged them for a match tonight, and Nick Aldis approved. This match went 5 minutes. Alba Fire hits a suicide dive on the far side of the ring to take out Zarya. Chelsea Green sent Sol back into the ring as they were on the outside and quickly covered her for a 2 count. So we got some double team here by Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. Zarya hurled fire into the barricade. We get back into the ring. Sol Ruka shoved Green off and face first into the turnbuckle. Then hit the Soul Snatcher for the 1, 2, 3, because nobody kicks out of the Soul Snatcher. A lot of people in Cincinnati saw the Soul Snatcher for the very first time and maybe want to see more of Sol Ruka. I don't think people are going to mind seeing more of Sol Ruka on a weekly basis, just in general, never mind the Soul Snatcher, but they win, and it looks like we may be getting a tag team title match very, very soon between Sol Ruka and Zarya, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. Zarya and Sol Ruka fit naturally on the main roster. They could be called up too. Maybe this is exactly what WWE is doing. Maybe they're getting prepped to call up Sol Ruka and Zarya. Maybe we do get Javon Evans called up and put him on Friday Night SmackDown. Maybe we get Obafemi on the main roster like I just discussed with the Sami Zayn US Open Challenge. That's 4 really great talents there from NXT that could provide SmackDown an immediate boost, separating it from Monday Night Raw. But right now, SmackDown just looks like they're operating as Friday Night SmackDown, dipping into the NXT talent pool and basically forgetting about their own roster. Unless the plan is, like I said, to call up these 4 people, these 4 individuals, and make them permanent fixtures on Friday Night SmackDown. I don't know. So Sol Ruka and Zarya win. Right into the next segment, which is Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They were interviewed by Kathy Kelly in the back. They joked about how hard it is to trust each other, since one is a queen and the other carries a creepy doll. But they were impressed by Sol Ruka and Zarya. Flair wooed and asked Bliss to woo as well. Bliss did not. Kathy Kelly wooed instead. Alexa laughed and walked off. Charlotte ended up following Alexa Bliss. Tag team division in shambles, huh? There's not one singular team on the main roster that you can call a tag team to go after Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. This is why I said in the beginning, Tony Khan has an opportunity to do something better than WWE right now, and he's got a handful of women not doing much of anything. He's got an independent scene that he could use and bring in anybody he wants to make that division viable. All you need to do is give me some solid storytelling and some fucking characters I care about going after those championships, and you automatically have a division and a set of championships that would be better than what WWE currently has. Because right now, all that they are props on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Nick Aldis welcomes Tiffany Stratton to the ring. Again, Michael Cole pointed out that she's undefeated in 2025. There was a table set up, and we were getting ready for a contract signing. Aldis invited Stephanie Vicaire out next, fresh off her title victory over Io Sky at WrestlePalooza. Crowd chanted Tiffy time. Vicaire talked about Stratton in a very complimentary-like way on being a great champion. She also said she respects Tiffany Stratton. However, Vicaire said she won't be losing any matches, so may the best woman win. Stratton said she's been waiting for this match as soon as Vicaire came to the main roster. She said there would only be one woman walking out of Crown Jewel victorious, and it would be her. They shook hands. Aldis walked in front of them, stood in the middle of them, and the contract was signed, and the match is now official. After the signing, Stratton walked to the back and up the ramp, and she was attacked from behind out of nowhere by Kiana James and Julia. James has a microphone and says that they had a business proposal for Stephanie Vicaire. She said Vaquer was a star, but she wasn't yet a superstar. Kiana James said she could give Stephanie Vaquer that if she accepted her high rate services. Stratton started to get back into things here. James said she could make Vaquer the WWE Women's Champion. Well, she's already the Women's Champion. What more do we need from Kiana James? Stratton pulled James to the floor. She finally got back into things. Vaquer got her hands on Julia, who tried to attack, and she quickly escaped after Stephanie wanted to give her the SVB. We're getting a tag team match next week, folks. That's what happened here. Julia and Kiana James versus Can They Coexist, Pal? Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton will team up next week against Julia and Kiana James. It still isn't a solid direction for Julia and Kiana James, but at least it's not Michin and B-Fab. Earlier today, we were shown a segment earlier in the day with Nick Aldis telling Javon Evans that he has a bright future. Ray Phoenix came up and said he was impressed and wondered what would happen if they wrestled each other. Los Garza walked up, called Javon Evans a child, and said that they were both playing children's games. He says that they're former AAA tag team champions and that they should wrestle and challenge them tonight in tag team action. Seems like WWE wants to team everybody up with Ray Phoenix except for the one guy that we want to see teamed up with Ray Phoenix. He's teamed with Andrade. He's teamed with Dragon Lee. He's teamed with Javon Evans. How many different tag teams is Ray Phoenix going to be a part of? This went 9 minutes. These guys are great. All four of these guys are great. Javon Evans is very good. Ray Phoenix is fucking great. Los Garza could be a viable tag team if they give them some sort of fucking direction and some sort of personality, some sort of gimmick. I do wonder where Santos Escobar is. We haven't seen him at all. Where is Santos? You know, the more we don't see Santos, the more I think he's going to be let go when there is another round of budget cuts, which I hope is not the case, because he's fucking great. But maybe it's time to move on. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about him getting in trouble. I didn't hear anything about him being injured. I wonder if it's just a situation that WWE has with Santos where they have no creative direction. They're keeping him off TV. It's weird. This match went 9 minutes. So we pick it up after the commercial break. Before the break, we got Los Garza double teaming. Ray Phoenix came in to save his partner and flew over the top rope with a corkscrew splash. Berto and Evans both followed, and then Evans got some amazing height on his dive that took everybody out before we got to the commercial break. Cole noted that this is the second time that Evans and Phoenix had teamed up together. Phoenix caught Angel with a kick to the face, went for a crossbody, but was caught. Things broke down here. Angel had a springboard enziguri double team move on Evans, which led to a good near fall on Ray Phoenix. Both guys tagged out. Evans was one step ahead of Angel and dove through the ropes, took out the cameraman, which was wild to see on the outside. Berto rolled up Evans and tried to use the ropes, but the referee caught him and stopped the count. Evans hit a running knee and covered, but this time Angel broke it up. Phoenix made a blind tag, springboarded in with a kick to Berto's face. Evans hit the OG cutter on Angel, and Phoenix hit the Mexican muscle buster for the 1, 2, 3 on Berto, who was legal, and he got the victory. Again, great tag team action here. I'd like to see more of Los Garza. I'd like to see them get some direction. I don't know if Ray Phoenix has any sort of direction, but they just have him doing these random things every single week with no real direction for him. I don't know what they're waiting for. Just move him over to Raw and team him with Penta. I don't know if they have a singles run planned for Penta, but Phoenix, I mean, he's just kind of all over the place. He's not in one set thing. He's not in any story. He's just there. And Javon Evans, this is his second week on the main roster. He wrestled Sami Zayn last week. he got this match with Phoenix this week. Is he getting called up? Are they trying to give him a main roster spot? Again, I don't know. Another NXT talent, just like Sol Ruca and Zarya on the show. They're not a part of the brand. They're not a part of the show. It's a quick fix to a longer-term problem. I would rather them just find their own roster. Just call everybody up then. If you want some new blood, if you want some fresh faces, just call them up. Kathy Kelly caught up to Damian Priest. He said that Black's luck had to run out. Kit Wilson of Pretty Dead rolled up in a wheelchair. He starts talking shit to Damian Priest. Wilson said that Priest needs to wake up because he thinks that power is intimidation, yet it's overcompensation. Wilson says he would overthrow the toxic masculine aggression era and show him what the true masculinity is. We don't care what Kit Wilson's masculinity is. Wilson stood up from his chair. He got big and tough in front of Damian Priest. Priest pushed him back into his wheelchair and rolled him down the corridor that was behind him, and you could hear him crashing off into the distance, which I thought was hilarious. Priest says he'd be fine because he's non-toxic. Priest challenged Black to a last man standing match next week in Australia on Friday Night SmackDown. Solo Sikoa. We haven't seen the MFTs live in the ring, live in action in weeks, which may be a good thing, honestly. Solo Sikoa had his third backstage pre-tape in as many weeks. He said he had nice things to say about one of his MFTs. This time it was Tama Tonga. He says he helped Solo defeat Fatu to win his first singles championship on the main roster. Solo said he needed to show everyone the monster that he is coming over from Japan. Just like last week, Solo said Tala's loyalty will be rewarded as long as he's a part of Solo's family tree. Tama Tonga then said, "I love you, Solo." Solo says he loves him too, but there's something missing from the family. Something noticeable is missing. Solo said when he finds that missing part of the family, that everyone is on notice. Do you mean to tell me that the great Tama Tonga is the final missing piece? The missing piece that will put everybody on notice is the great Tama Tonga. Or maybe he's replaced. Maybe he's talking about somebody else. Maybe it's a surprise. Maybe we get Zilla Fatu. Maybe we get Lance Hawaii. Who knows? Maybe it's someone completely different that joins the family. These vignettes have been filmed very well. I don't think that they're going to do anything to really generate interest on seeing the MFTs. The MFTs is just a rehash of the bloodline. And we are well beyond all of that. If you're going to bring them back to television, you got to give them a fucking true meaning, not just random matches on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, the rumor was that the MFTs were going to feud with the Wyatts. That may or may not interest you. I have no idea. Maybe that's what we're setting up for. Maybe some Survivor Series action. Some old school Survivor Series elimination. Could be. Kathy Kelly interviewed the Prophets, Street Profits, with B-Fab. They got an upcoming tag team championship match next week against the Wyatt Six. The Prophets acknowledged that they've had a rough couple of years, but Montez Ford said that next week they fight for each other. Apparently, I'm supposed to believe that this team have problems. Meanwhile, we haven't seen any of these problems take place or play out on television. What exactly is the problem between Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins? I fail to see it. And if there is something, I might have missed it. And if there is something, I don't believe it. There was a TV behind them, and all of a sudden, static appears on the TV, and the Wyatts appeared. Eric Rowan wondered if they would still feel like family when everything comes crashing down next week. Everybody spoke here. Joe Gacy spoke. We got Nikki Cross speaking. Eric Rowan spoke. Everybody but Uncle Howdy spoke. Main event. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman. Monday Night Raw talent in the main event on Friday Night SmackDown, man. Love to see it. This was actually very good as far as tag team match is concerned. I just feel like all of the tag team matches that we've seen, it's more of the same with the Bronze. They've wrestled Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. They've wrestled the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Now they're wrestling Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. I feel like we've seen this same match over and over and over again. But for a TV main event, this was not bad. Orton started off against Braun Breaker. And Orton hit the 10 punches in the corner early on, clotheslined Breaker over the top rope to the floor, and we go into a commercial break. Heyman distracted the official, allowing Orton to get dropped on the table by Bronson Reed. Reed whipped Randy Orton into the corner, and then he went shoulder first into the steel post when Orton moved. Orton made the hot tag to Cody, who came in on a house on fire. He hit a disaster kick. He took Reed off his feet into the floor. Cody clothesline Breaker over the top, hits a suicide dive. We go back in the ring. Cody covered Reed and only got a 1 count. Reed eventually takes control using his girth. He caught his springboarding Cody, and dropped him with a huge Mark Henry-like slam. Reed threw his finger up in the air to mock Roman Reigns. And then he tagged out. Breaker showed his speed by running the ropes and turning Cody inside out with a devastating lariat. And we go into another commercial. 9:52. We go to a fucking commercial. Breaker and Reed continue to beat down the baby faces here. Quick tags, tag team cohesion, working as a unit. They have Cody isolated in their corner. All of a sudden, the crowd starts singing, Cody, Cody Rhodes, Cody, Cody Rhodes. Very odd for Cincinnati, who's been relatively dead all night, to just break into a European Cody Rhodes chant. Breaker took note. He actually mocked Cincinnati for singing the song. Cody slipped out. Breaker tried to hold on to his leg. Cody kicked Breaker off. And apparently, Reed gets in, and he stops Cody from making a tag out to Randy Orton. So Cody recovered. He pushed Reed into the corner. Reed missed a senton splash, which gave Cody the time he needed to finally make the hot tag to Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes in with his vintage short arm clotheslines and a big power slam to Bronson Reed. He hit a second power slam on Reed, but Reed immediately recovered and hit a jagged edge, which is his Death Valley driver. Reed went up for a tsunami. Orton met him up there. Fans called for an RKO, but Orton hit a monster superplex on Bronson Reed. Breaker broke up the cover. Cody and Breaker fought at ringside. Breaker ran across the apron, launched himself onto Cody, sending both through the barricade. Back in the ring, Orton caught Reed with a draping DDT. Brutal. He called for the RKO, but while Heyman jumped on the apron, he distracted the referee. Out from the opposite side comes Rollins from the crowd, and as Orton is in the Viper position to hit the RKO, he hits a stomp on Randy Orton. So Bronson Reed sees this opening, drags Randy Orton to the corner, off the top rope with a tsunami splash, and he pins Randy Orton 1, 2, 3. 15 minutes. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker win by defeating Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. No tension between Orton and Cody Rhodes. The prophecy that Paul Heyman, the Oracle, spoke earlier in the night. We didn't really see that play out yet, but that may be looming somewhere in the future. Rollins held up the bronze hand to celebrate their victory. Reed and Breaker left. Rollins looked like he wanted to do more. Heyman tried to talk him out of it. Don't do it. Don't you do it. He's in your head. Don't do it. Rollins pushed Heyman away, ran back into the ring to hit another stomp. Cody evaded the stomp, catches Rollins in a crossroads, and that was the way the show went off the air. Heyman held Reed and Breakker back, and they basically let Seth Rollins figure it out that he made a mistake, and it was his choice. He made a mistake, and he paid for it. And he has nobody to blame but himself. How is that going to come into play? Is that going to create tension between Heyman and Seth Rollins? Is Paul Heyman already planning a Rollins victory? And if so, what does he have planned? Is it going to be McIntyre? Is it going to be Lesnar? Is it going to be a new member? How is he going to help aid Rollins against Cody? How is he going to help Rollins beat Cody, knowing that he's looking at a Rollins that is so mentally just out to lunch because he's got nothing but Cody on the mind? He's making mistakes because he's so worried about Cody and beating Cody. What is Heyman going to do to ensure that the Vision get the victory? We haven't figured that out yet. And that's what makes the match at Crown Jewel at least slightly unpredictable. I think Rollins is going to win. How? I don't know. And that was your Friday Night SmackDown. Again, not really much to sink our teeth into. It's not like it's a bad show, but like I said, the problems that exist on this show are being covered by NXT and Raw talent. Like, what is SmackDown trying to be? I don't know what that is. You want it to be NXT, you want it to be Raw, but it's becoming less and less like SmackDown. You're using less and less of your roster on SmackDown because you're dipping into the NXT pool. You're dipping into the Monday Night Raw pool. The show's lost its identity. It's not Friday Night SmackDown anymore. It's Friday Night Variety Hour. Sure, you may like it because you get to see fresh new faces, but it's nothing more than a Band-Aid over a very, very nasty wound that doesn't want to heal. Just bringing you guys some common sense and giving you guys a different perspective on how I see things. Sure, a lot of fans are short-sighted. Sure, a lot of fans want to just see a good wrestling show. Me, I want a long-term solution to this problem for what has largely been a terrible show most of the year. Thank you guys for all of your support. Appreciate you all showing up here on Friday night. We're going to get into your super chats in just a second. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the bell for notifications. 700 likes is the goal, man. I'm very disappointed in you guys. We haven't even hit 500 likes yet. 500 likes is the goal. Or 700 likes is the goal. You guys haven't even 500 yet. What happened? Am I not doing a good job anymore? Do you guys just hate fucking Friday night streams? Do you guys just not care about SmackDown? I mean, I'm doing the best that I can with the very limited content that I have. The least you could do is show some support. It doesn't take a lot to show some support via the thumbs up and the super chats. So please go and do that, man. Hit that thumbs up. Try and get 700 likes before we get out of here. Might be a long shot, but I appreciate those that have remained here and stuck with me on this Friday night. I wish there was more to talk about, man. I wish it was more exciting. I wish that more people were interested in what was going on, but the lack of interest really shows. You feel it, you see it. I feel it, I see it. It's crazy. Go check out all the content on the channel, plenty of it. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew, BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. All you guys need to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. So tonight on SmackDown, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, they lost to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. That's like two legends walking into the ring and still getting flattened by a couple of monster hosses. Sami Zayn went toe-to-toe with Aleister Black in a United States Championship Open Challenge. Crowd was very much into it. But let's be real, guys. When it comes to your own main event, You don't want to be the one getting squashed. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew delivers chewable tablets that give you performance and the kind of push Randy Orton wishes creative gave him tonight. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, basically your own personal title run. Last time I tried one of Blue Chew's tablets, my junk walked in with Cody's Pyro, Orton's Pose, and Sami Zayn's Underdog Energy. The only thing missing was Aleister Black's creepy entrance music. This isn't just performance, it's what I call erection resurrection. And unlike WWE creative, Blue Chew actually delivers. This is about legacy, or what I like to call your third leg. Because when you lay it down, the group chat isn't talking about how the match ended. They're talking about how it got started. And we've got a special deal for all of our listeners tonight on OTS. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code JD at checkout and just pay the $5 shipping and handling. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to my great friends over at Blue Chew for supporting the podcast tonight on Off the Script. Let's get into these super chats. Just some music news today. Trivium lost their drummer. No longer a part of the band. He was one of the best parts of the band. Probably the best drummer they had. And now he's gone. And Dave Mustaine and Megadeth today released their new single. Fantastic stuff. Can't wait for their new album, which apparently will be a self-titled album in January. And it will be their final album ever. So I'm expecting some epic shit here. Imagine that, man. Megadeth. We're losing everybody, man. We're losing Cena. We're losing Hiroshi Tanahashi, AJ Styles. We're losing Megadeth. Fuck's going on, man? Our childhood is just slowly evaporating. Let's get to these super chats so I can get the hell out of here and play some of the new Black Ops 7 beta, which sucks, by the way. The answer is still no as to me purchasing it this year. I think I'm going to put my foot down. Joseph Taylor with a $2 super chat. Oba is what Vince McMahon wanted Monty Brown to be. Dominant. Yeah, I can't get into orbit culture, bro. I can't get into orbit culture. That's like try-hard music, bro. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JD and OTS is Android Friday. Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Nate with a $2 super chat. Just want to say, fuck Diddy. Enjoy your 4 years and burn. He should have got 40 years. Never mind 4. And the world loses nothing, man. The world loses nothing. Ali with 38 months. Hey, JD, my question to you is if Zari made her debut as a singles competitor, would you have her be on SmackDown or Raw? And I would see her face Rhea. I put her on SmackDown. SmackDown needs all the talent that they could get, man. That SmackDown women's division is pretty fucking bad. It really is rough right now. Yeah, Sleep Token sucks, bro. Sleep Token actually puts you to sleep. Half of their name is actually correct in what their music does to their audience. Ali, thank you, brother. Gold Standard with a $5 super chat. Dynamite ratings, 465,000. Wow, I'm shocked it was that high. Listen, man. If you watch what me and Jesse do on Wednesdays, you know why it's that low. Billy with a Billy bomb here, 38 months. Thank you, brother. What's up, OTS family? And JD, you're the fucking man. Boy, did the crowd suck ass tonight. Silent like someone died. Oh, yeah, the Cincinnati Reds lost. Well, the Reds are of no concern to them anymore. They got their college football. They got their Bengals on Sunday. Thank you for 38 months, brother. Darksider, NYC with 6 months. Hey, JD, I didn't think I would last this long on your podcast, but here I am. You do a great job and hope to be around longer. OTS for life. I don't know why you say you wouldn't have lasted this long unless you expected not to like me and my content and the way that I deliver the news and the reviews and the way that I am. But I appreciate that you're here, brother. Thank you. Michelle with a 2. Somehow I still see Seth getting screwed at Crown Jewel. No, I think Seth is going to win. I could be wrong, but I think Seth needs to win. Jay Barker with a $5 super chat. Breaking Sean Ross Sapp's neck. Shotzi hit him with a much needed stunner. Fuck SRS and don't eat corn the long way. What are you talking about? Were they at a wrestling event? Cornell Bryant with $4.99. Reruns of Family Feud had higher ratings than that AEW show on Wednesday with 465,000. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is that a true statement, bro? Did reruns of Family Feud bring in more ratings than AEW? Shotzi and Sean Ross Sapp were at a wrestling event. Well, which wrestling event were they at? WrestleMess with a $4.99. Give us 2 women from NXT that are ready and could immediately make an impact in the SmackDown Women's mid-card division. Where do you put them story-wise? Are we talking about Sol Ruca and Zarya? I don't know, man. We need a lot of help on Friday. We need help in the women's division. We need help in the tag team division. We need help everywhere. I don't even know what the show is anymore. There's nothing to look forward to anymore. Also, with the $4.99, WrestleMess says Crown Jewel season takes away about 5 weeks of potential world title changes, all for a stupid ring and a giant belt. It's stalling world title storylines. They must like it that way, bro. It gives them 5 weeks off to do basically nothing. It's a pleasure. It is a luxury to have someone like Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins feuding where their history is so easy to tell. Their story is so easy to tell because of what we've seen previously with them. It's like you give Cody and Rollins the ball to run with whatever they need to do, man. It takes so much off the plate of the creative team. They don't need to do anything. Mike 43 with a 41 months. I think Orton will turn at War Games. Roman winning. Royal Rumble facing Seth at WrestleMania. Orton versus Cody. CM Punk versus question mark. Add 2 more matches for Crown Jewel. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing for Mania, bro. I don't know what we're doing for Mania. WWE could go Seth Roman. I would rather see Cody Punk. At that point, I don't know what you do with Randy Orton. I don't know what you do with Randy Orton. I think Cody and Orton are going to feud coming out of Survivor Series. I don't think they save that for Mania. So if we do Roman Reigns and Seth, CM Punk and Cody, I don't know what we do as far as Randy Orton. Now, we could get Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker. We can get Cody and CM Punk. We could get Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. Again, I don't know which direction they want to go. Neil Burke with a $5 super chat. Happy Friday, bro. You have the best show ever. Your thoughts on maybe KO returning to a Sami Open challenge? WWE likes their pops, as we know. Yeah, I don't think Randy. I don't think KO brother is coming back. I think 2027 is a likely landing spot for Kevin Owens. I don't think he returns next year. I think if he does return, I think we see him towards the tail end of 26. But he is sorely missed. I will say that. WrestleMess with a $1.99. What if Solo is referring to Nia to counter Cross? Yeah, I don't care for that. Nia Jackson, the MFTs. The MFTs are bad enough. You want to add Nia to make them worse? No. Nick Morris with a $2 Super Chat. Cheers to Dynamite's 6th anniversary and the lowest ratings ever. I love it. I absolutely love it. Jorge with a 5. This is what happens when you care more about profit, share, than you do telling a story to your fans. Sad state of pro wrestling in general. Yeah. I don't know what Triple H or Tony Khan are doing for both major promotions, bro. It's sad. JD25 with a $9.99. WWE should just get rid of the women's tag team titles. Most of the teams have to be forced, especially with the women having mid-card titles now. I think that's enough for them to fight for anyway. Yeah, I think the tag team championships need to be burned, bro. I think they got to go away. Completely not needed. There's no teams. There's no division. It's just random props, toy belts being held by 2 women just to make them feel special. Now, Michael Krause with a $2 Super Chat. What do you think on Game Pass price increase? Thoughts, JD? I don't have Game Pass. I don't play on Xbox. I play on PlayStation. No thoughts really on the matter. Guys, thank you for a very good stream. Again, I wish I had more to deliver to you guys. I wish there was more excitement. The stream on Friday has been the slowest it's been, man. The streams in general have been slow, whether it's Monday or Friday. In fact, the AEW streams are the most lively streams of the entire week, believe it or not. Everything is just down, man. It's quite depressing. Super chats have died. Interest from everybody has died. The shows are boring. If the shows are boring, people are not going to watch what we do here on YouTube. Just the way it is. But I appreciate those have stuck with me here tonight, man. We'll get some content out for you this weekend. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications, and go check out anything you might have missed on this channel and the second channel. Everything you need is linked down below in the description. Guys, I'll see you back this weekend with more content right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.